All right, guys, so our warm-up number 24, it said number 1, solve x over 2 equals 42 over 7. Once you solve that, you should have gotten x equals 12. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. Number 2, it says factor by grouping. They gave us 2x squared plus 9x plus 9. You should have factored by multiplying the leading coefficient times the last term, that is 18. And then 9 down here. Factors of 18 that add up to 9 are 3 and 6. After you factor completely, you should have gotten 2x plus 3 and x plus 3. Hands if you got that. All right, good. All right, next. Number 3 reads solve for y and graph using the domain -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. And once you solve your equation, which was given, -12x minus 3y equals -36, you solve for y, you should have gotten y equals -4x and then plus 12. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. And then your table, x, y, your domain, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. When x is -2, you substitute that in there. You should have gotten 20. -1, you should have gotten 18. 0, you should have gotten, oh, my bad. Let's see, 4, should have gotten 16. -1, 16. 0, 12. 1, 8. And 2, 4. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. And your graph, I'm going to graph that up here. There you go. All right, so on your graph, we, let me get my coordinate plane. So for the x, or the domain, we have values -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. But for the y values, notice that it goes all the way from 20 all the way to 4 positives, and it's going by 4. Is that correct? So let's scale this by 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to start at 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So let me, my first point is -220, -220, -116, 0, 12, 1, 8, and 2, 4. And once you graph that, there it is. And if you notice, it's going in the downward direction. Why? Because the coefficient here of x, it's a negative, and our slope is negative. There it is. All right. How are we doing? Good? That's music cue. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and turn in our home play for today. Well, let me give you the agenda first. Our agenda is warm-up number 24. We're looking at rational functions. We're moving on today. Then we have home play pages 459 through 460, numbers 3 through 6 only. And if you notice, it's only 4 problems, which will give you a clue as to how today's processes are going to go. So make sure you stay focused, please. Stop your snapping or tweeting or Instas or WhatsApping, whatever it is you do. Stop it. All right. So our home play, your synchronous session code for Nearpod is 4F56V. 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 All right. So with that said, your previous home play was these 6 problems. Make sure you turn them into Canvas if you haven't done already. And I'll give you some time for that. Today's home play is pages 459, 460, numbers 3 through 6 once again. And our objective for today, I can solve rational equations. I can solve rational equations. So get a Cornell note ready. I'll give you some time, 30 seconds, go. All right. Once again, I can solve rational equations. So what are rational equations? Here we go. Rational equations are equations that have or contain one or more rational expressions. Rational equations are equations that contain one or more rational expressions. Rational equations are equations that contain one or more rational expressions. Examples: 6 over g plus 4 equals 2. 2x minus 14 over x squared minus 15 equals 1. And 2x plus 6 over x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 1 over x plus 3. Copy those. All right, so according to the definition, rational equations are equations that contain one or more rational expressions. So here we have equations. Does this one have a rational expression within? Yes, it's right there. Does this one have a rational expression within? Yeah, it's right here. How about this one? Yeah, it has two of them. 1, 2 rational expressions. Okay. Non-examples. 6 over g plus 4, x squared plus 3x plus 2, and negative 3 plus x equals 10. As you're writing the non-examples, you're thinking to yourself, these are not rational equations because of this.
Mr. Q,
Yes.
I tried logging into the Nearpo code and it said please enter a valid code 4FS6V.
Oh yeah, it wasn't working.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you have to like unlock or something.
For Nearpod,
Just saying.
let me see.
It wasn't working for me either.
For F56V. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyways. All right.
It works for me right now.
Yeah, it's like it's there. Maybe you're
That's 'cause-
you're typing
Hey.
something in incorrectly or something.
Yeah, I put S instead of 5.
Oh my goodness.
For me as well.
All right, so once again, the steps for our rational equations. Step 1, if the rational equation is a proportion, cross multiply and solve. Step 2, if it's not a rational proportion, if it's not a proportion, then you identify the least common denominator. Step 3, multiply the entire rational equation by the LCD. And step 4, simplify and solve. All right. We good? All right, example 1. I'm going to leave the steps on the top right. So if you haven't finished, look at the top right of the screen. It should be there. Here it goes. Example 1, solve algebraically and identify excluded values. And we are given 5 over x minus 2 equals 3 over x. Copy that, and we'll go over it together. All right, here we go. So look at it. To solve algebraically. So we have a rational equation. Is it a proportion, guys? Yeah, we have a fraction equal to another fraction. So I'm going to do step 1, which is multiply, cross multiply, and solve. So check this out. I have a fraction equal to another fraction. I'm going to start up here and from left to right, cross multiply. 5 times x is 5x equals this times that, x minus 2 times 3, and that gives us 3x minus 6. Now, for those of you that don't see it, I'm going to write that up here, 5 times x, and then I have x minus 2 times 3. 5 times x is 5x, distribute this one, so that's here. All right, From there, let's simplify and solve. We need to get all variables to one side, so minus 3x minus 3x. We're left with 2x equals negative 6. And at the end, divide by 2. X equals negative 3. Am I done? No, at the end, they want us to find what? The excluded values. Excluded values. How many denominators do you see? 2 of them. The first one is x minus 2, so I write x minus 2 equal to 0. What's the other one? X equal to 0. Let's solve. Plus 2, x equals 2. And this one's already solved, so my excluded values are 0 and 2. Show me your fingers, I'll come to you all with these. 5, 5, 5, 5, yeah. Why, Mr. Q? Why are they so easy? Because we've been doing this on the warm-ups. And also we did some of the excluded values before, so we should be able to do these no problems. I'm going to give you one for you to do by yourself. Example 1Q. Here we go. Example 1Q. 1 over x equals 3 over x plus 4. 1 over x equals 3 over x plus 4. Solve that one. Find me the excluded values. 1 minute. Go. All right, let's see what we got. You should have cross multiplied. It's a proportion. That times that. So that's x plus 4. That times that, which is equal to 3x. Get all variables to one side. Minus x minus x. We're left with 4 equals 2x. Divide by 2. 2 equals x. Hands, have you got that? Okay, good. Excluded values. How many denominators do we see? 2. X equals 0 and x plus 4 equal to 0. That and that. Solve. This one's already solved. Minus 4 minus 4. So x equals negative 4. So therefore this is negative 4 and 0. Hands, have you got that? Okay, we got it, yeah? All right, let's move on. Copy this one. Example 1, super Q. We got x plus 1 over x minus 2 equals 4 over x minus 3. Once again, x plus 1 over x minus 2 equals 4 over x minus 3. And it's the same instructions as the previous one. We need to solve algebraically and identify excluded values. What do you guys notice? Is it a proportion? Yes. All right. So I'm going to start with step 1 in black, cross multiply. So I'm going to go from left to right from the top. So this one times this one. And I'm going to write it here so you guys can see it. X plus 1 times x minus 3. All right, let's multiply them. What is x times x? X squared. What is x times negative 3? Negative 3x. What is 1 times x? Positive 1x. What is 1 times negative 3? Negative 3. Combine like terms. Yes, right here, Mr. Q. X squared minus 2x minus 3. I'm done with that multiplication. I'm moving on to the next one. This one times that. And I'm going to write it here so you guys can see it. X minus 2 times 4. Distribute, distribute. So I end up with 4x minus 8. All right. Look at it. What do you guys notice? We have a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation. How do we solve this quadratic equation? Think about it. We've been doing this for the past 2 days. How do we solve a quadratic equation? Addie.
You get all the variables to one side.
How about we, yes, but how about we set it equal to what, everyone?
0.
0, yes. So we subtract 4x and add 8. Subtract 4x and add 8. This side now becomes 0. So we're left with x squared minus 6x plus 5. Look at it. We have x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. How do we continue solving there? What do I do next, Danny?
You factor.
Factor. So we end up with 5 on top, -6 on the bottom. What factors of 5 add up to -6, everyone?
3 and 2.
2 and 3.
2 and 3? Close.
-1 and 5.
-1.
-5.
-5. That is correct. And since this one doesn't have a leading coefficient, so I just write x minus 1 times x minus 5, and all that equal to 0. All right, set each one equal to 0. So we end up with x minus 1 equal to 0, x minus 5 equal to 0, and solve. Plus 1 plus 1, x equals 1, plus 5 plus 5, x equals 5. These are my solutions. Are we done? No, Mr. Q. Excluded values. Tell me what to write, Roman.
X minus 2 equals 0.
Uh-huh.
And x minus 3 equals 0.
And why is that, guys? Because those are my two denominators that need to be equal to 0. Yes, plus 2, x equals 2, plus 3, x equals 3. So my excluded values are 2 and 3. Okay. Show me if fingers, I'll come to you are with these. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4s. Okay. All right. Let me give you one more of these just to make sure you got it. Here it goes. There it is. 8 over x plus 3 equals x plus 1 over x plus 6. Copy that and go. All right. Some of you should be close to done, but here goes the process. Do we have a proportion? Yes, one equal to another fraction. So I'm going to cross multiply this times this. So that gives us 8x plus 48 equals 2. This times that. I'm going to write it here, x squared plus 4x plus 3. And once again, if you don't see it, make sure you write them out. 8 times x plus 6, and then x plus 3 times x plus 1, and then you distribute so that you can write it out. From there, set it equal to 0, minus 8x minus 48, minus 8x minus 48. 0 equals x squared minus 4x minus 45. Factor. Factors of 45. 1 times 45, 3 times 15, and 5 times 9. Which one of those pairs adds up to 4 or subtracts to 4? 5 and 9. And this one tells us that the 9 is a negative. So my factors are x plus 5, x minus 9, all that equal to 0. From there, we set each one equal to 0, x plus 5 equal to 0, x minus 9 equal to 0. Subtract 5, x equals -5, plus 9, x equals 9. So these are my solutions. Am I done? No. Excluded values. What are my denominators? X plus 3 equal to 0, and x plus 6 equal to 0. And when you solve, the excluded values are -6, -3. Hands, have you got that? All right, good. So, let's crank it up a notch, yeah? We're done with the kiddie stuff. Let's move on. All right, example 2, copy this. 6 over x plus 2 minus 10 over x equals 4 over 2x. And once again, we're solving and identifying excluded values. Copy that, please. All right, here we go. Writing utensils down, please. Let me do the step, and I'll have it copy right after. I just want to make sure that you're focused on what we're doing. Here we go. They give us this to solve. However, the question that lingers in my mind, is this a proportion? Is it one fraction equal to another fraction? No, we have two fractions on the left, one fraction on the right. So that means we cannot do step 1, which is cross multiply. We can't do that step. So what do we do, Mr. Q? We go to step 2, which means identify the least common denominator. So pay attention, please. Let me show you how to do that. So on the side, I'm going to write the denominator so you can see it clearly. Denominators. What are my denominators? I have x plus 2. Okay. I have x and I have 2x. Those are the three denominators. I'm going to start with the last two since they seem a little bit closer that they look alike. So look at these two. What would be a common denominator? Can I multiply this one to make it look like that? No, but can I multiply this one times something to make it look like that? Yes. I would multiply this one times 2. Therefore, my common denominator for those two would be 2x. Okay, so now I have a common denominator for these two, but not this one. This is my other denominator. So look at these two. Since we cannot multiply this one to make it look like this or this one to make it look like that, then that means that I can multiply this one times that, x plus 2, which is the first denominator. And now look at this denominator. What does this one need that this one has? Yeah, 2x. So my least common denominator is now 2x times x plus 2. Copy that, please. So once again, we get our three denominators. Here they are. Start with the ones that are most alike and see what is missing on one of them that the other one has. We multiply this times 2. So the common denominator for these two is 2x. But then since this one is not, it's completely different from this one, we just multiply them together to give us our LCD, 2x times x plus 2. All right, so we're done with step 2. We found our LCD, least common denominator. Let me go to step 3. I'm going to switch to blue. It says multiply the entire rational equation by the LCD. Focus on this step. Writing utensils down, look up. I'm going to multiply the entire equation times the LCD, which is 2x times x plus 2. And this is going to look familiar because we did this at the beginning of the school year, but with equations and just numbers. Look up. I'm going to multiply this one times 6 first. So I'm going to write 6 times 2x times x plus 2. And the denominator stays the same, x plus 2. Minus, I'm going to write the 10. I'm going to multiply this again times that numerator. So we have times 2x times x plus 2. The denominator stays the same. Equals. Now this one times the third numerator. So I have 4, and I'm going to multiply times 2x and x plus 2. And the denominator stays the same, which is 2x. Copy that, please. All right. So did we multiply times the LCD all the equation? Yeah, but only the numerators? Yes. Mr. Q, why do we do that? Because that would allow us to finish solving without any fractions. So check this out. The next step is to simplify and solve. Look at the first fraction. Do you see a giant 1? Yeah, the x plus 2 right here. So what does that leave us with? 6 times 2x, that is 12x. Okay, look at the second fraction. Do you see a giant 1? Yeah, right here. The 2x, we can get the x out of the way right there. Okay. However, don't forget this negative. Look up. You see this negative 10? Yeah, what is negative 10 times 2? Negative 20. And we distribute that to these two terms. So that leaves us with negative 20x and negative 40 equals. Do you see the giant 1 on the last fraction? Yeah, the 2x. And that leaves us with 4 times these two. So that is 4x plus 8. Copy that. And at this point, now that we have a linear equation, now we can solve. And we're going to see if we can simplify one of the sides a little bit more. Can we simplify the left side a little bit more, Victor?
Yeah,
What can I do?
you could multiply.
No. Look at it.
Oh, is it factor?
No, look at it. We have 12x minus 20x. We can
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, you can just subtract it.
combine. So that leaves us with
Is it negative 8x?
negative 8x minus 40 equals 4x plus 8. Let's get all variables to one side. So I add 8x, add 8x. We're left with negative 40 equals 12x plus 8. Continue. Michael, what do I do from there?
You simplify? No, you it'll be 0 equals 12x minus 32.
Close. We need to bring the 8 over here. Is that correct? To leave x by itself? So I subtract 8.
Yes.
Subtract 8. That leaves us with negative 48 equals 12x. All right. And last step, divide by 12. Divide by 12. Negative 4 equals x. Okay. Are we done? No. Excluded values. Tell me what to write for the excluded values, Hayden.
X plus 2 equals 0, x equals 0, x 2x, sorry, equals 0.
Yes. So we solve minus 2, x equals negative 2. This is already solved. This one we divide by 2, x equals 0. So our solutions are, our excluded values are negative 2 and 1, 0, because we already have one of them there, so we don't need to use a second one. There you go. So let's see if we got it. I'm going to go through the process one more time, backtrack. Whenever they give us a rational equation that has more than 2, that it's not a proportion, that more than 2 rational expressions in there, like this one, we take the denominators, find the common denominator between all 3 of them. There they are. We take that, multiply the entire equation times the LCD, which means we just multiply the numerators. From there, we identify giant ones to simplify, and then we just solve our equation. Okay? All right.
Mr. Q,
Yes.
I still don't understand something about when you were making the giant ones. You crossed out 2x and just x. How are they the same?
2x and x.
The middle one? Yeah.
Oh, right here? Oh, because the 2x and the x, notice that they're multiplying. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you leave the 2?
Yeah, so you just leave the 2. Yeah, the 2. We can't do it with this x because this x is being added to this one. The x plus 2, we can't eliminate that one, only the one that's multiplying. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Look at this one. Very similar to the one we did. We're not going to do that one. But if you notice, how many denominators do we have? 3 of them. So our common denominator would be what? For these 2, it would be, look up, let me just show you really quick. For these 2, it would be what? 2x. Then we multiply this and this. So my least common denominator will be 2x and x plus 1. Then we multiply all the numerators times that and simplify. All right. Where I want us to get to is the next portion. Look up to the screen. Extraneous solution. An extraneous solution is if the solution to the rational equation is an excluded value, then it cannot be the solution. Let me repeat that again. An extraneous solution is if you find a solution to the rational equation and it's the same one as the excluded value, then it cannot be the solution. That's what we call extraneous. Copy this one. Last one. We got 1 over x plus 1 plus x over x minus 3 equals 12 over x squared minus 2x minus 3. Is it a proportion? No, Mr. Q. All right, so let's write the denominators over here. We have x plus 1. We have x minus 3. So this is one denominator, here's the other. And the third denominator, we need to factor that one, which is negative 3, negative 2. Factors of negative 3 that add up to negative 3, 2, 1, and negative 3. So my factors are x plus 1, x minus 3. All right, so look at it. This is my last denominator. Look at the other ones. What does this one need that this one has? Oh yeah, it needs x minus 3. What does this one need that the other ones have? X plus 1. So what's my LCD, guys? My LCD is x plus 1, x minus 3. Yes? All right, let's multiply the entire equation times that. X plus 1, x minus 3 times the first one. So we get x plus 1, x minus 3 over x plus 1 plus x times x plus 1, x minus 3 over x minus 3 equals. So we did this one times that, now this one times that. 12 times x plus 1, x minus 3, and the denominator is x plus 1, x minus 3. All right? Let's simplify. Do you see a giant 1 here? Yes, we're left with x minus 3. Do you see a giant 1 here? Yes, right here. Distribute this, so that leaves us with x squared plus x equals giant 1, that leaves us with 12. All right. Can we simplify the left side, Victor? Yeah, we can combine like terms. Do you see the like terms? Yeah, I'm gonna start with this one. We have x squared, what else?
X and X.
So that's 2x
2x.
minus 3 equals 12. How do we solve that, guys? Alberto, how do we solve that?
Make everything equal to 0.
Yes.
So we minus 12 minus 12.
Minus 12 minus 12, thank you. So that leaves us 0 equals x squared plus 2x minus 15. Power Rangers, times plus factors of 15 that add up to 2, negative 3 and 5. So my factors are x minus 3, x plus 5, and all that equal to 0. Solve x minus 3 equal to 0, x plus 5 equal to 0. So plus 3, x equals 3, minus 5, x equals negative 5. All right. So far so good. Let's go to the excluded value. Excluded value. Then we go to write. Let's see. Ivan, go. What do I write? All right, good. Miles, go.
X plus 1 equals 0.
Uh-huh.
X minus 3 equals 0.
Uh-huh.
And
the other one is the same, aren't they?
x to the second.
Yeah, x to the second plus 2x minus 3. Isn't that also?
Oh, yeah.
So do we need to rewrite them? No. That means minus 1, x equals negative 1, plus 3, x equals 3. All right. Question. My excluded values are -1 and +3. Are any of those part of the solution?
Yes. 3.
Yes, the x plus 3. So what does that tell us? That this one cannot be a solution. What do we call that one? That's an extraneous solution. Extraneous. Why? Because it cannot be part of the solution. Because it's an excluded value. Let's go. Show me your fingers. I'll come to you over these so far. Yeah, 5 4s, 5 4s. You're saying, Mr. Q, it's a lot of processes. I know. I told you. It's just, they're just adding processes to each piece. But we have all the components. We just need to work through them. Okay. I'm going to give you one last one just to start it off, to see how you feel by the looks of it, and see what you do. Here we go. Example 3Q. Look at it. 2 over x plus 1 equals x minus 6 over x squared minus 1. Copy that. Let's do just the first steps, and we'll stop. 2 over x plus 1 equals x minus 6 over x squared minus 1. All right. Alyssa, what will I do?
You have to cross multiply.
Bam. Who saw that we cross multiply? Yeah, that is correct. We have a proportion. So I'm going to multiply this times this. So I'm going to write 2x squared minus 2. Then I multiply this times this, which is equal to x squared minus 5x minus 6. How do you get that, Mr. Q? Write it out if you don't see it. 2 times x squared minus 1. Then I have x plus 1 times x minus 6. You distribute. That's how I get this. Distribute. That's how I get this. What would we do next? What do we do next?
Identify the LCD.
Close. We're still not done. Because on this one, hold on, since this one is a proportion, we don't move on to these. We don't do these two. That's why I wanted to get to this one. We go from
Make it equal
here.
to 0.
Yes, we go to simplify and solve. Make it equal to 0. What do? Get all these to the other side. So minus 2x squared plus 2 minus 2x squared plus 2. Oh, plus 2. Okay. This is 0 equals negative x squared minus 5x minus 4. Can we factor? Yeah. Is it in standard form? Yes. Is there a GCF? Yes. I see Danny saying yes because it's got a negative. So it's -1. We're left with x squared plus 5x plus 4. Factor some more. Factors of 4 that add up to 5. 1 times 4 and so on and so forth. And you know what to do from there. I just wanted to clarify this piece that whenever you get that it is a proportion, you don't have to do steps 2 and 3. Go straight from 1 to 4 and then just continue solving. Woo, let's go. Show me your fingers. I'll come to you all with these. 5 4s, 5 4s. We just need practice. Yeah. So tutoring after lunch. Okay. Once again, it's only 4 problems for home play. So make sure you get to those as soon as you can so you won't forget the process. Good one, guys. Enjoy your home play. And I'll see you guys till next time.
Later,
Later,
Mr. Q.
Later.